advanced. I can see that.
I think India's contribution to inclusive growth agenda the world over is being celebrated at Davos. Apart from our digital potential, the fact that Prime Minister Modi has become one of those unique examples in the country and across the world, where we can proudly say that digital democracy delivers. That's the buzzword here at Davos.
I was talking to one of your partners for this launch, Gates Foundation president. He also said that the world needs to learn from India's digital public infrastructure.
I believe that when we look at the agenda of inclusive growth, we have to recognize that a social revolution was undertaken in our country, given Prime Minister Modi's governance agenda. First, he put women at the center of good governance. We've not only helped build 110 million toilets, that story has been often spoken of domestically. The world over, there are 4-5 aspects of India's achievements that are resonating here at Davos. Firstly, the contribution of India and the leadership with humaneness that India showed during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our health infrastructure, our support to over 160 countries under the aegis of Vaccine Maitri has got India laurels not only in healthcare, but also how one can ensure that when the world's back is to the wall, it is India and Indians who have stepped up responsibly to deliver solutions. The second aspect, which has become the buzzword at Davos, is the depth and the expanse of our digital engagement. Like last year itself, 100 billion transactions courtesy the UPI. The fact that we have reached now a new mark in our stock exchange. The fact that today over 500 million bank accounts are thriving for the poorest of the poor. But of late, the recent story of over 24 crore Indians who were taken out of multidimensional poverty in India in the last 9 years, I think that's also generated a lot of interest. But from an industry perspective, there are 2-3 aspects which many thought leaders and innovators are speaking about. India's leadership in artificial intelligence to create a consciousness about responsible behavior in the sphere of artificial intelligence. India's contribution to ensure that educational needs of our communities are met digitally and at times physically. The fact that our country today has 41 million youngsters in higher education institutions, and India is now hoping to create 35 million more opportunities in higher education. The fact that we have 265 million children in our K-12 system, that exhibits to the world that we are the largest skilled force in the world. So I think there are many areas for us to celebrate in. There are many areas on which we have provided exceptional service to the world in. And the world needed a partner that was dependable in economies that are fractured, in geopolitics which is fragmented. The fact that India can be a resilient and a reliable partner, I think, is spoken of much at the forum.
Also, another thing here also it has been talked about, or you also touched upon it briefly, about the responsible use of AI and misinformation. Our Prime Minister has also talked about it, how the deep fake, especially when elections are around the corner.
Yes.
So we know, especially in our country, this plays a big role, misinformation. We are a diverse country. So
I will attract your attention to the fact that even an institution like PIB, which falls under the aegis of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, now has a mechanism on social media to call out news that is fake, news that needs to be corrected, which is brought to the notice through citizens or, for that matter, through media houses. So India has created a robust system for engagement and ensuring that our people are more informed. I will not say that the media had no role to play in it. I think the media has equally partnered in it.
That's true. Even we have started a fact-check division for that matter. Another, you were talking about buzzwords. Another buzzword here is actually this launch, the lead launch. First time, I have been coming here for 15 years, and first time a woman leadership launch been set up here. So what was the thought process behind this?
Prime Minister Modi's governance agenda has centralized the ambitions and aspirations and needs of women in our country. We are the only country on this promenade, or possibly in the world, that has made an economic case and evidenced it about why more and more investment should be done in gender. For instance, while we can talk about the social structures that have seen an evolution and a new approach in terms of governance, we also need to recognize the financial prowess that has been unleashed through programs like Mudra. Now, though 70% beneficiaries are 400 million who are women in terms of the loans that were sanctioned, what one needs to recognize is that for a woman from a rural capacity, or a woman from a slum, or a woman who's financially challenged, for her to draw up a business plan, to go to a bank, to get a loan, then service that loan, pay back, and time and again then keep engaging with the financial institution, speaks volumes about the social and financial barriers that have been crossed. So this lounge, which is actually a lounge which was generated from a partnership, though it was a suggestion of the Ministry of Women and Child Development, we asked the Confederation of Indian Industry to step up and ensure that this lounge portrays the inclusive and gender agenda of the Indian growth story. And yes, indeed, I'm extremely proud that it has become very pivotal on this promenade, and that it has attracted attention and conversation on investments in gender and health. The Ayushman Bharat Yojana here, especially, and its impact on affordability of healthcare, especially from a perspective of women, has been lauded across. Prime Minister's insistence on ensuring that the nutritional security of children younger than the age of 6 has found a cause for celebration here in the global community. So we've done much, and I'm glad that today, as Indians, we are proudly showcasing it.
How hopeful are you? Have brought some of the case studies here.
Yes.
They have been covered, and people have been coming and talking to them. So how do you think, how hopeful you are that this will lead to a bigger cause and a bigger level of investments into women-led businesses, as you keep talking about?
We in government under Prime Minister Modi's leadership have made a case where government steps up to finance the credit needs of women and women-led enterprises. It is now incumbent upon industry, and we are also attracting international investors' attention towards the Indian female potential in enterprise. So yes, two young ladies who are second and fourth generation entrepreneurs in craft have attracted much attention here, one from Jaipur, one from Banaras. The fact that the produce that they have exhibited not only is a compliment to their craft, but also a compliment to our sustainability agenda. There are many boxes that we have rightly ticked. The fact that you yourself and PTI certifying that they have, as entrepreneurs, attracted such attention at the World Economic Forum. People believe that this was a forum only for big industry. India has proven this forum can be made available to also that young female entrepreneurial potential of India. And we have two shining examples here at the promenade.
Another, so we're talking about this buzzword. The back home, the buzzword is obviously Ram Mandir, consecration. You have been meeting people here. What are they asking you about that? What are their feelings?
In fact, I met some Ram Bhakts.
They are going there.
You may have seen a paper here. Ram Bhakts asked me to record a message imploring the community here to do Ram Bhajan, to Ram Naam Jap Karna, or for that matter, to light a diya on the 22nd of January. And these are Ram Bhakts who just saw the lounge, saw me, and they walked up and they presented that request. I think we have as a community shown, मैं हिंदी में हमेशा कहती हूँ, धर्म के लिए धैर्य दिखाया है. And the fact that we have been patient and waited for a judicial pronouncement with regards to our beliefs and our rights speaks volumes about the strength of our democracy under Prime Minister Modi. That we, respecting every religion, have waited our turn. Ki Bhagwan ghar aaye, I think is a cause for celebration and joy. So my gratitude to everybody who showed that patience, and I look forward to going back home and in fact going to Amethi on 22nd Jan and celebrating with my people.
That's it. Lastly, in one of your sessions, you talked about what investors want, and you talked about which has been a key factor always, policy and political stability.
Yes.
So, what kind of confidence you are getting from the investors here?
Well, if you want me to now quote the president of the World Economic Forum in his interview to one of the Indian news channels, he was hopeful, and he said this publicly, so I can repeat it, that he hopes to invite Prime Minister Modi back in 2025, which means that the global community is rest assured that Prime Minister Modi will come back to office. Prime Minister Modi has stood steadfast as a symbol of not only policy reform, but also ensuring that the social sector is not ignored in our growth story. So the fact that global leadership, and especially global financial leadership, is looking eagerly to welcome Modi back here speaks volumes.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Nan, for talking to us.
Thank you.
And